Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox, and I'd like to welcome you to the Daily Compliance News. The Daily Compliance News is an offering of the Compliance Podcast Network. August 7, 2019, the Travel Warnings Edition episode. First up, how bad is the gun violence in the United States? Well, Venezuela and Mexico have issued travel warnings to their citizens about coming to the United States. There have been 255 mass shootings in the U.S. since the first of the year. So when Venezuela and Mexico tell their citizens that things are too bad to travel to the United States, that pretty much tells you all you need to know. Next up, from the Wall Street Journal. What is the status of the due diligence on your employees? Well, that came to the fore when the founder of Care.com announced that she was going to step down. Sheila Marcello, founder and chief executive of Care.com, said she would resign 5 months after a Wall Street Journal investigation showed the online marketplace provided limited vetting of its caregivers. The company provided caregivers, and it was failed to do in-depth background checks on caregivers. And it turned out that not only did many of the caregivers have police records, but had committed crimes while caring for clients, including child abuse, sexual assault, and murder. So I think most compliance practitioners are aware of due diligence on third parties, but what kind of due diligence do you actually do on your employees, and do you continue to monitor them going forward? Next up, from the New York Times, they report that Novartis hid manipulated data while seeking approval for a $2.1 million treatment. The failure to report these issues allegedly, or at least the FDA said, had not put patients at risk. Nevertheless, the company faces potential criminal and civil penalties for these misrepresentations. It manipulated data while applying for approval of expensive gene therapy treatment, then delayed in reporting the issue. Officials said the inaccurate data was intentionally hidden or not given to the FDA. So pretty damning report on Novartis, and you have to wonder what this means for their relationship with the FDA going forward. And finally, in the Washington Post, a guest columnist asks, can Equifax's credit monitoring offer be trusted? So the Equifax settlement has turned out to be just a disaster for the consumers, as you were supposed to receive either credit monitoring or up to $125. However, it turns out that it's actually going to be pennies on the dollar. And, of course, Equifax has made it as difficult as possible to collect that little amount of money. And then the credit monitoring is something they had put in place already based upon the breach. And, of course, to now extend that out, you have to waive all rights to sue the company if this occurs again. So Equifax continues to be a public relations disaster. One might think the FTC has a part of the responsibility since they approved this plan knowing full well what could occur. I'm pleased to announce a new podcast this week, Why a Duck, where Mike Volkoff and I get together to talk about our love for the Marx Brothers and our love for the compliance profession. We're going to use the Marx Brothers to explore a wide variety of compliance topics. So I hope you will check us out on Thursday, August 8th, for the premiere of Why a Duck. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio.